Let us start the session. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Hyderabad Chartered Accountants Society, I welcome to all our members, colleagues, and participants joining us for this virtual session on Tally Prime 7.0 new features. This session is organized by HCAS in association with Tally Solution, and it is designed to give practical insights into the latest features of Tally Prime 7.0 and their application in the professional practice, especially for chartered accountants and finance professionals. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce our speaker, CA Badarinath N. Sir. He's a seasoned chartered accountant with over 15 years of experience in auditing, taxation, corporate finance, and advisory services. He's the principal chartered accountant at Badarinath and Associates and has previously worked with organizations such as Shell India and Akasam and Associates. He's also a visiting faculty for corporate laws at ICAI, ICMI, and leading CA and CMA institutes. Today, he will walk us through the key new features of Tally Prime 7.0 and their practical relevance. Now, without further delay, I invite Sir to take over the session. Sir, over to you,
Yeah,
sir.
yeah. Thank
So
you. Thank you
again,
so much for
one
the
more thing, sir.
introduction.
We'll have the Q&A at the end. Once Sir is done with
Yeah,
the questions, we'll have the Q&A. You can all post your doubts in the chat box. So you can
yeah.
continue.
So So probably, Asha, if there are three important topics that I'm going to cover in 7.0.
Yes.
So after each topic, I'll just give them a certain time wherein they can raise the queries in the chat box. In the
Okay.
last, we will give them an option to unmute themselves and also ask any question if they have.
Done.
So I'll try to give a pause after the end of each important
Every
topic.
part, yeah. Okay. So
Yeah.
if you want to talk to Sir, or if you want us to unmute you, just raise your hand
Yeah,
and we
please
will
raise the
unmute you
hand.
for your doubts. Okay. Done.
Yeah, thank you so much, Asha, for the introduction. So let me start the session. So the today's topic is the updates on Tally Prime. So Tally Prime 7.0. So initially, if you can recall, earlier we used to call the same as Tally ERP 9.0 and all that. But later on, Tally Prime had it revamped its features because the law is dynamic. So it's changing from time to time, and the requirements of the users in this fast growing environment or economy is also fast moving. So Tally is also upgrading its product from time to time. So till earlier, prior to release of Tally Prime 7.0, the earlier release is Tally Prime 6.2, which many of the people might be currently using. And very recently, in the month of December, Tally had launched its upgraded version by name Tally Prime 7.0. Since we might be busy in the tax audits on the GSTR 9 filings and of that sort, we might not have saw this update and we might not have upgraded our product. So I'll just walk you through the complete features that were added in this Tally Prime 7.0 one by one. So after the end of each important primary feature, I will also give a time wherein if any participant has any question, so please feel free to raise your query in the chat box. Definitely we'll resolve your query. So basically on the screen, you can see the important special features that got added in Tally Prime 7.0. One is auto backup. Definitely nearly 99% of the users, one time or the other, we would have faced a situation where the data of a particular client or sometimes the data of our office itself would have got corrupted and we might not had a backup. So automatically the effort that was being put by accountants or by us for all these days, everything would go waste just because we have lost that data file. So going forward, we will not face this issue. The reason being, in the Tally Prime 7.0, Tally has given us a privilege of doing an auto backup, which means that if you can make a schedule and give a planning time, like for example, every day I want that backup to happen at morning 11 a.m. Though I remember it or not, automatically my Tally Drive data folder or the companies which I have given this backup schedule automatically goes and sits in that Tally Drive. So I'm repeating, not in my PC, the data is going and sitting. It is going and sitting in Tally Drive. So Tally Drive is a space which Tally had given free of cost to all the TSS users. If you are a silver user, you will be given 1 GB free of cost. And if you are a gold user, you will be given 3 GB free of cost. And just that we need to set a schedule and automatically the backups happens at that periodical interval that you have set and goes and sits in Tally Drive. How to set that? Everything I'll try to cover when I enter that point of auto backup feature. I'll practically demonstrate that to you. So going forward, be rested, be able to, our malware getting impacted, the chances will go off. The reason being the Tally Drive is a secure drive. The reason being the Tally is not using their own servers as well. They are using AWS servers, which are more secure to malwares. They are not vulnerable to malwares. So it's always preferable for us to keep the data backup in the Tally Drive rather than our local system. The reason is there is always a chance that our local system also may get impacted with the malware. Sir, I want to have a backup not only to Tally Drive, but also onto my particular drive like D drive or E drive. Can we do it? Yes, you can do that. You can parallelly do an auto backup to Tally Drive as well as to your local system as well. Coming to the next important feature, the Smart Find. So where you will be able to a particular narration or a particular check number or certain item you might be able to recall that it might have been posted in the narration or in the item name, or you might just remember the amount. Just that the moment you click on and say, I want to find out a voucher with the check number, so and so, automatically that voucher comes in front of you. That option is called Smart Find, even that got added in Tally Prime 7.0, which I'll try to practically demonstrate that to you by taking certain examples. Coming to the third important feature, Prime Banking Payments, which means that till 6.2, so only you will be able to see the bank balance. You will be able to download the bank statement directly into the Tally system with the partnering banks. But from Tally Prime 7.0 onwards, you will also be able to make the payments directly from Tally, even without logging into the internet banking of the customer. So this is another connected feature which got added in Tally Prime 7.0. And the lastly, Bharat Connect. It's a revolutionary change which we will be seeing very soon. The reason being, earlier when we need to make the payment, we used to use cash, but nowadays you could understand even small vegetable vendors, everyone is trying to use UPI. We did not expect that such revolutionary changes will happen. Even when we go to a temple, sometimes we might not carry a change, but you can see a UPI scanner appearing on the top of the hundi, where you can just make the payment or the donation, whatever that you want to give to the god or the temple. Just like how UPI interface got revolutionized, in the same way, why can't I send one invoice of my company to another company directly? And why can't they record it as purchase directly? Why should they enter that invoice and the line items? Again, is it not a duplication? Yes, 100% it's a duplication. So if seller sends an invoice to the buyer, so the buyer will be able to simply see that invoice in his screen, in his ERP, and simply record a purchase entry instead of again entering or keying in all the details. Because backend, the exchange of the data happens through one platform, which is called as Bharat Connect, which is a mechanism which is designed by Government of India. I'll just try to show you practically how that exchange of invoices happens between two ERPs. So we'll start with the first important feature, which is auto backup. So I'm just showing you a demo of how a one-time backup has to be taken. So obviously you could understand that firstly, a new feature got added, which is login to Tally Drive. So firstly, please log into Tally Drive, give your login ID. The tally.net ID is nothing but your tally.net ID and also tally.net password. So automatically you can see a message saying that you have successfully logged in and you can now start using the Tally Drive services. So this is one time thing. So for the next 24 hours, you need not log in again and again. So it will not ask you the password also. For the next 24 hours, Tally Drive would be open. So I'm just doing now one-time backup. I have just selected an option called backup. And you can see now a new thing got added, which was not there in the previous versions, Tally Drive. This is a virtual drive or a cloud drive, wherein our tally data will go and sit. And these are the two companies for which I want to do a backup. So I have selected those two companies' name for which I want to do a backup. I'm just showing you now a one-time backup. So set backup password. So in order to increase the level of security, I do also want to set a backup password, which means that any user, if he wants to restore that file and use it, just that if he has access to our tally drive, he will not be able to use it until and unless he also knows us. He also knows the backup password which we have set when we are doing that backup. I'm also trying to create that level of security. I have created a backup password, and there is always a chance that we may forget a backup password sometimes. Then there would be a risk, right? So in order to avoid that, so I'm also sending a recovery key. So that means if anyone wants to restore that backup file, they can use that backup password, or they can simply use the restore key. Anything is fine. Anything is fine. So now backing up is happening. You can see on the screen, the tally data is going for a backup. And now we need to check. Let us see if really backup happened or not. I'm now opening manage tally drive. So this is what is tally drive. I'm just logging into the tally drive where I said for silver user 1 GB of data space was given. And I'm just going into my primary login ID. Let me enter into my login ID. I'm clicking my login ID. Yes, you can see that whatever the companies for which the backup is being done, they were sitting in the tally drive, virtual drive. And you can see what is the date and the time at which the backup has happened. So this is a practical demonstration video. Okay, so please don't compare the time that is being displayed there to the time that we were now. Okay, don't get confused because I'm displaying that video to you. So which is step by step. And you can see the space when compared to the real space after when the same got backed up, the size was reduced drastically because compression will happen so that more files can be saved onto the tally drive. And you can see also the recovery key. So the user whom we want to give access to download the particular backup files, he'll be notified through an email. And if he has restore key as well, instead of backup password, he can simply paste that restore key and he'll be able to download that backup files or our files. So that is another option. So if you want to restore, you can have a backup password, or alternatively, you can use the recovery key. Anything is fine. So whatever that I had, you can see on the top, the available storage, whatever the demo that you are seeing is multi-user demo. As I said, multi-user 3 GB of space was given free of cost for all active users by Tally. They had purchased this space from AWS, which is very secure. So vulnerability to antiviruses or malwares definitely is very much less, I could say. And you can, so this is all one-time backup, right? One-time backup. So now, sir, I do not want to do a one-time backup because I may forget it to do a backup. I want to make out a plan. I want to schedule a backup wherein if I specify a particular time, every day or every week or every month, automatically the backup has to happen without my intervention, without manual intervention. Can you show me the way that backup happens? Okay, let us go to the next slide. So schedule backup, this option is called auto backup or schedule backup. So let me run through a way in which we have to make out a schedule backup. I'm just showing it to you, the demonstration video, date and time. It's 2 o'clock, 2:1. So I'm doing now a backup, schedule backup. So this is a place where I do want to go. I do want to give a destination where my files had to go and sit, which is Tally drive, virtual drive, or cloud drive. And this is a company now for which I want to give a plan wherein the at specific intervals, this backup has to happen. So backup frequency, you can make it as once or daily or weekly or monthly. So the time as per the demonstration video is 2:1. And let us assume that if I want to change it weekly, it will ask on which day you want a backup plan to trigger. So for example, every Sunday, Thursday, or you can give 3 days in a week or 4 days in a week. It's your choice. The way that you customize is your choice. Occurs on, if it is monthly, it will ask what are all the dates. Might be 1st, 15th, and the last date of the month, or 26th of the month. It's your choice. You can customize in the way that you want the backup plan to happen. So I'm changing the time. So now actually it is 2:2 as per the demo video. Now I'm changing it to 2:5. So under take a backup now, it's an optional one. If you also want to do a backup now, when you're giving a plan, you can do it, but it's not mandatory. I'm setting a backup password and recovery key. There is always a chance that backup password you may forget. So you can make it as an alternative. So I'm logging into the Tally drive. It will not ask me the password, friends, correct? Because already I have given the password initially when I opened my system, and that would be valid for 24 hours. So the last backup, because I did earlier one-time backup. So do you want to do a backup now? Ante yes annanu kada. So do you want to do a backup now? Ante yes annanu kabatti already the backup had happened, which is at 2:2. Now the next backup time is at 2:5. So let's wait for the clock to move to another 3 minutes. And after 3 minutes, now you'll be able to see the backup will happen. So let's watch for another 2 to 3 minutes, wherein once the time moves to 2:5, automatically the backup will automatically happens. I'll just show it to you. I'm just passing one entry in between 2:2 to 2:5. I'm passing one entry, correct? Yeah, I'm passing one entry in these 3 minutes before the next backup is scheduled to happen. I'm passing one entry. Okay, entry is done. Now let's see the time. Let's see the time. It's 2:05. So still we have some more seconds wherein the backup to start trigger, because at 2:05 after 59 seconds the backup is going to start. It's not yet been started. It will start in a couple of seconds. So I'm just trying to refresh the details. And I'm going to refresh the details. Yes. You can see the last backup is at 2:05. It's in process. It's in progress. It's in progress. Backup is happening. Now, if I refresh it again, you can see it's success. That means backup is completed. So you can see the first backup is at 2:2 and the second backup is at 2:5. And you can see only one entry was added, right? So that means a KB of data would got added between 2:2 to 2:5. So now you can see two backup files were there. One backup file is at 2:2 and another backup is at 2:5. Let's open and check whether the two backup files exist or not. Yeah. It's a backup plan, friends. I did not open Tally drive. It's a backup plan. This is the backup plan which we had given, and recovery key is also there. So recovery key also has come because when we are doing that backup plan, we gave in a mail ID to which that recovery key has to go. And you can use that recovery key, right? The next one, incremental backup. So the Tally always goes by a method of incremental backup as its technology. The reason is every day, if all the transactions, all the companies again had to do a complete backup, what will happen is unnecessarily the load, the space, everything gets wasted. So not only the Tally, but also a lot of backup technologies these days were not using the redundant olden days technology. They are using incremental backup technology. For example, there in the shared folders, I mean backup folder. So the earlier folder will now gets added with the current two entries and the backup file will get created. So the load, the space, everything is now less because of this incremental backup method that is being opted. So let me show you. I will prove it how Tally is showing an incremental backup method. I'll prove it to you. Just look at this demonstration. So when I did a scheduled backup, just like in the last video, I'm just selecting the companies for which I am doing a scheduled backup. Only one company I'm taking it now, for example, now. So provide method of backup. In the last video, I did not click on yes. To show you, I'm putting it as I'm in configure button. I have clicked F12 and said yes. Now it is asking me a new option had come, which is method of backup. You can see by default, Tally had taken which method? Incremental backup. We need not disturb it, friends. We need not disturb it. And also the number of versions which Tally by default keeps in the backup folder, backup drive is 7. So, sir, I do want to keep more versions. not just 7. I do want to keep more versions. You can definitely increase the number of restorable versions from 7 to any higher number, but not more than 366. What is the maximum number? 366. So what does it mean in the sense, like, for example, if the number of restorable versions are 7 and on 8th, the first day, the data backup file which you did it on the first will get deleted. And on 9th, the backup file which you did it on second will get deleted. Likewise, at any given point of time, you will have 7 restorable versions, which should be good enough. So that is the reason why Tally had given an option. By default, Tally had put number of restorable versions as 7. However, if you want to increase it, you just need to click on the button called configure F12, and you can increase that number from 7 to any higher number. Up to what is the number that you could specify? 366. So I'm doing a backup. Incremental backup. I want to prove that I'm doing an incremental backup. So the next backup for tomorrow it would be 29th October. Because if daily in the sense, like you can see, what is the backup size? On 27th, the backup size is 20 MB, but on 28th, the backup size is just 396 KB. Correct, friends? Which means that we are using incremental backup technology, because of which on the second day, you can see the size of the backup file is so less. But don't worry, on 28th, if you are retrieving the 28th version, it will include the up-to-date data of, that means 27 plus 28, you will be able to download. So nothing to worry on that. If you do the complete backup, the file size will increase. Please do remember the file size will increase. But if you use incremental backup, the subsequent versions backup size would be lower, because it is backing up only that incremental data that got added. So I'll clarify one more, sir. For example, like say I did daily backup, but I am not using the Tally for last 10 days. I went on Sankranti festival to hometown. Still, will backups keep happening at the date and time just because my system is on? I would want to clarify a point that we did a method of incremental backup, like when there are changes. So from yesterday to today, if there are no changes, from yesterday to today, if there are no changes, there is incremental backup will not trigger. Only when there is an addition of vouchers or a deletion of vouchers, then only it will consider that there are certain modifications that had happened to the Tally folders, and then only incremental backups will happen. So please do understand that. So unnecessarily the space don't get wasted. So only whenever we are working on Tally data, only whenever there are changes that are happening, only then backups will trigger. Just because you did a daily backup, just because that you made a daily backup option, backups are not going to get triggered. Nothing to worry. Our space is safe. So now I have shown you the options how we need to do a backup. Now how to restore the backup. Okay, how to restore the backup. So let me show you a demonstration of how the backups to be restored back. I'm going to the data. I'm going to the option called restore. So you can see from which path I need to restore, from Tally drive, correct? Yeah, so from to where I need to restore. So I'm giving the destination path. So from Tally drive, I'm picking up that particular file for restoration. I have given the restoration path also. I created a path and created a folder by name restored. So the data is now coming from cloud and is going to sit on your local PC. So earlier we have sent the data from our local PC to the cloud. Now during the restoration process, the data is coming from cloud and is sitting in your local PC. It's a two-way. So restoration is happening. I also had given that restoration password, backup password. So if I forgot backup password, I need not worry, because to the email I will get recovery key. I can use the recovery key in place of backup password. Anything should be fine to restore. Okay, done. Restoration is completed. Now let me go into the folder of restoration. Okay, so I'm just showing it to you. The old file and the restored file, the statistics would remain same. I just want to prove it. So 7,260 total count of the vouchers. This is the old file. Now I'm going into the restored file, restored the same number of vouchers count you can see. So that means during the migration process from your local PC to Tally Drive and again Tally Drive to your local PC, there were no changes in the number of vouchers in your company. So that means the migration or the movement of the data is happening flawless. So this is how I do want to prove that the backup is functioning smoothly. Yeah, so there won't be any difference, friends. I'm just showing you another company, KBCL Traders, and again in restored also the same number of vouchers that you can see. In the statistics, we can see the count. Yes. So that means when we are sending the particular file to Tally Drive, and again when we had restored it for both companies, you could see the same number of vouchers exist. So this is so we need not worry whether the data that I'm sending it to Tally Drive is coming back exactly, or any tampering is happening. We need not worry. We can be 100% be assured. So I want to download directly into my local PC instead of restoring. I want to go to Tally Drive and then download. Can I do that? 100%. I logged into Tally Drive and I'm just trying to download and I'm just giving a the path where I do want this file to be downloaded. So it's like your G drive or other drive, friends, but you can't keep your PDF files or Excel, Word, movies and of that sort in this particular Tally drive. You will be able to only keep your Tally backup files. That's all. The rest functions just like Google Drive or OneDrive. There is no other change. So now I'm just logged into my Tally drive and I'm downloading the files and keeping it on a particular path. So you can see instead of restoring now, I'm downloading it onto my PC. I can do that also. So you can see that backup files got downloaded. So I'm doing a two-step process. First, I downloaded it from Tally Drive to the desktop, and from the desktop, I'm now restoring it to my PC. That is option one. No, sir, I do want to directly restore directly from Tally Cloud to my Tally. You can do that. It's your option. Firstly, if you want to do a direct restoration, you can do that. No, sir, I will first download. I'll go into Tally Drive, download the backup files, and then restore after saving it in my Tally Drive. I mean local PC, you can do that also. Anything is fine. So since now the Tally Drive has a confidential data of the users, so one caution Tally is giving for all the users is that please do not share your tally.net ID and tally.net password to any other person. So otherwise, there is always a chance that they may log in and download your Tally data. But however, again, we have added one more security, which is the backup password. Even though they have the access to your tally.net ID and tally.net password, they'll not be able to definitely use your files until and unless they have the backup password or recovery key. So the double layered security is also been added into the Tally Drive ecosystem. So only caution is not until and unless it's needed, please do not share your tally.net ID and password to any other people. So now one is automated backup. So that is one benefit where you can make a schedule of the backup daily or weekly or monthly. So parallelly to local storage as well as to the cloud storage. So cloud protection is available. So it's not vulnerable to malwares because the Tally is having its Tally Drive storage system in AWS, which is more secured, and the flexible recovery. So you'll be able to download any of the previous versions because as I said, 7 versions by default, it would be there. So you can download, you can restore yesterday data or day before yesterday data or a day before that date. So that flexible recovery option is been there, and optimized storage, because Tally is doing that compression in order to allow users to save more data onto the Tally drive. They're using that compression. And lastly, the instant alert, which means that during the backup process, they sometimes the backup may be failed. The reason being the space might be full. Let us say for silver user, 1 GB of space is there, and already that 1 GB is full. And when the backup gets triggered, the backup fails because there is no sufficient space to do the backup. So at that time, you will get an instant alert on the Tally screen itself. There will be a bell icon. So an alert will happen. Just click on that and you will be able to see that a message saying that backup was failed because the space, Tally drive space is insufficient there. Then what you can do is you can buy additional space also. If number of companies that you are handling is more, Tally also gives us an option to buy the additional space. I'll just show you practically how to buy an additional space. Friends, this is the Tally which I'm showing it to you on the screen. I'm just going into the Tally drive. So I'm going to Tally drive. Let me log in with my .NET ID. So this is the Tally drive, friends. So these are the 3 companies for which I did a backup as a demo to explain to the people. And you can see 1 GB of space is available. And still only I have used a very small space in KBs. Still 1023 MB is available. And still, let us assume a case where certain users has more number of companies that they want to keep it on the Tally drive, and the space given by Tally drive free of cost is not available to them or not sufficient for them. And to the right side, after you open Tally drive, to the right side, you can see something, an option called extend storage. So please click on extend storage. You'll be navigated to a payment page where you just need to give your organization billing details. But the additional space will not be free of cost. It would be charged because even Tally company also had to pay to the AWS vendor. Even for that 1 GB also they need to pay to the vendor. But anyhow, people are paying for the TSS subscription, and hence Tally was giving it free of cost to those users whose TSS is active. And for the rest of other people who feel that 1 GB or 3 GB gold, it is not sufficient, they can buy additional space for the Tally drive and increase their backup storage capacity. And here each one quantity represents 10 GB of data, which means that you will not be able to buy a less than 10 GB, or you can only buy in 10 GB or multiples of 10 GB. If it is one quantity, 10 GB. If it is 2 quantity, 20 GB. If it is 3 quantity, 30 GB. And what is the cost for it? 100 rupees plus GST per month is the amount that we need to pay for increasing the storage space beyond that 1 GB or 3 GB, whatever. Sir, let us say I added one quantity and made this payment of the 1298. So then what will happen? So that means now what is the space that I get? 11 GB, because 1 GB is free, 10 GB is what I bought. So total 11 GB is what I will get if I buy 10 GB. And if I am a gold user, already 3 GB is free. I buy 10 GB. So total you will get 13 GB. So anywhere simply we just need to log into a Tally drive and you can see what is the available storage. If your available storage is less and it is saying it's exhausted, just click on an option F6, wherein by you can simply make a payment and increase your storage capacity of the Tally drive. So coming to the next one, sir, this is, let us say I have an office, and in office, I have the data going and sitting in the Tally drive. I came to the house, and now in my house, I have a separate Tally license. Can I open Tally drive from this serial number? Can I open Tally drive from this serial number? The answer is 100% yes. So can we open Google Drive or OneDrive from any PC? Yes. In the same way, Tally drive can also be opened from any PC, any serial number, but you can restrict that also, but you can enable that feature as well. But I'm saying there is an option where you can make the Tally drive appearing in any serial number. So for example, in my office, I have a different Tally serial number. In my house, I have a Tally different serial number. Simply just do something called as data, manage Tally drive. Just enter in office whatever the .NET ID, .NET password that you are using. The moment you click on it, you'll be able to open the Tally drive of your office, right from your house Tally, from the Tally license that you are using in your house. Sir, Okay, one more question. In-house, I don't have a licensed Tally. So I do have only educational version, which I downloaded free of cost. But I want to open and see the files, the backup files. Can I see it? 100% yes. So that means you can even open the Tally drive, even from an educational licensed version also, and you can restore it. You can restore those files, but as you know, we will be able to only see educational version has certain restrictions, and those restrictions will be applicable. But you will be able to see the data, whatever that is in Tally drive, even if at your home PC, the license is just an educational version. So simply understand that your Tally, just like how your data is in Google Drive or OneDrive, it is in Tally drive, but when it cannot be opened directly through Google Chrome, it can be opened only from a Tally software. So, sir, at home, I don't have a Tally software, but I want to see the data. Download the Tally Prime educational version, open it in educational mode. You'll be able to open Tally drive and see whatever all the data that you want, which actually is in Office. Okay, friends? Yeah. So this is something that I want to clarify. And secondly, a client generally what he need to do, he need to send his Tally files to the auditor. So that auditor will go through the files. Currently, how he is sharing it through an email, correct? Sometimes during the process of that email, the size may be bigger or the data is getting corrupted. So there are multiple issues which users are complaining it. So instead of you giving or sending the backup file to the auditor through an email, why not you give access of that particular backup file to your auditor Tally.net ID as well? You can do that. Simply, you can create your auditor also as an user. You can simply create your auditor also as an user and give the access to that email ID as well. So that when auditor opens his, you need not share your Tally.net ID, friends. Company need not share its Tally.net ID and password, because just we have given access to the auditor Tally.net ID also. When auditor is logging into his Tally drive, he'll be able to see his Tally backup files as well as client's backup files as well, because client has given access to his Tally.net ID. So gone are the days where the clients need to share the backup files to the auditors through an email or WhatsApp. Simply now they have to allow the auditor the access of the backup files to the auditor.net ID, and auditor has to use his .net ID and password. Then he'll be able to even see the backup files for which his client had given access. He'll be able to open by restoring it. He'll be able to download, and auditor, when they are trying to share that backup files to the auditor, so probably they can even give an auditor the recovery key. They can mention the auditor email. Auditor will also be notified that recovery key, and when the auditor is restoring that backup file, auditor can use the recovery key given by the client through an email, and he can just open and start working on it. Okay, so this is another important point that I would want to clarify. Now I'm just giving a pause so because I have completed the topic of the backup, auto backup, incremental backup. So if anyone has any questions on this particular area, so please feel free to raise your questions through chat window. I'll answer it before we move on to the next topic. Okay, already certain questions were there, so let me read them. So if still anyone also has other questions as well, please feel free to post your questions in the chat box. 1 second, friends. Backup of all companies is possible instead of selecting each companies. Yes, we can do that. N number of companies, there is no limitation. But please do understand that the space that is available to us is that silver user 1 GB and multi-user 3 GB. So based on that, you can plan your priorities. So there is no restriction where we should save only a few, we should not save few. Coming to the next one. Hi, sir. Earlier, while taking a backup, all users had to sign off, and then we used to take the backup. Superb. Perfect question. Earlier in the past, when backup is happening, we should not work on the Tally, correct? But now in 7.0, that's not the case. you can still continue to work on your tally. You can still continue to work on your tally, and the backup will happen at the backend without disturbing your schedules. Yeah. And if any user passes an entry in the last, will that also get backed up? 100% yes, because when the backup is about to complete, it will even see the latest entry that is being passed by the user. So sometimes, as we know, sometimes backups will take 20 minutes or 30 minutes till the time. Why should user be idle? He can still continue to work on the same tally, and the last entry that is going to pass will also go and sit in the backup file, undoubtedly. And this feature again had come only from Tally Prime 7.0. Yes, next question is, can I restrict the auditor's access? 100%, it's your choice of whether you want to just give an auditor the option of downloading. You can restrict his access where he cannot post any backup files to your drive. Only he will be able to download it. He will not be able to again post the backup files into your drive. You can restrict that access. You can customize the access. But if you still want auditor also to again post the final backup files after reworking in your tally drive, that also you can enable. It's your choice on how you are going to customize the access rights to your auditor. Yeah, again, yeah. So if we need to really use this Tally Prime 7.0, so or I mean backup or auto backup facility, it is only available starting from 7.0. So if you're in the older versions or earlier versions of Tally, we need to migrate our Tally from the earlier versions to the latest Tally Prime 7.0 to enjoy this auto backup facility completely free of cost. Yeah, so I think the topic is clear. So there were no much questions on this particular area. So no, sir, can you explain all the features of 7.0? Yes, 100%, Dharmaraj. So now I have only explained one aspect, which is auto backup. So still other features of Tally Prime 7.0 also there. I'll try to cover it. So just now I did one thing and complete. Let's move on to the second important feature on Tally Prime 7.0, friends. Smart Find. So basically, you can see I'll just open my Tally screen. You can see something difference in Tally screen when compared to the earlier versions, friends. What is that? So you can see a search box that is getting displayed on the top, right, with a mirror. So this is search box. So you could recall only a check number or an amount or an item name or certain word in a description or a narration. You can recall only a date. Just enter it here. It is going to search the entire database and going to list out that particular transaction where that was hidden. So let's test it here. Let's test it because as auditors, we don't believe until and unless we do testing, correct? So let's test it. So let me open another company as a test case. Company, select. So friends, I'm just opening a purchase voucher to you. In this purchase voucher, please see on the screen the supplier invoice number is 121. And the item that was purchased is cement. And on the narration, you can see a word by name called as Ultra Tech and also a number, something getting displayed, which is 123456. Okay. So 10 bags is something which we purchased. I took as an example of a rate as 100. So 1000 rupees is the value of the voucher. So Ramana Enterprises, cement is item, Ultra Space Tech is in the narration, 123456 is also is in the narration, correct? Yeah. So now let me use this option of finding out the voucher. So I do want to extract the voucher where I remember 123456. I typed in the narration 123456, enter. So it's giving me, it's saying me that there are two companies where in narration the number 123456 exists. It is not giving you result from one company. It is giving you result from two companies because this find option works on all loaded companies. So there are two loaded companies currently. One is Semonite and the other is Venkatramana Oil Traders. So it is showing me in the narration, you can find that word Ultratech. And again, in Venkatramana Oil Traders also, you can find that number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 sitting in the narration, friends. Okay. So next, again, I'll use it the other way. So I'm using that mirror. So clear history, you can erase the history. I have erased the history. Ultra is something that I can recall. Ultra. Again, it had brought it, friends. Again, it says that the match is result from the narration. From narration, it is able to trace it, ultra, and it is able to bring. So that means even I did not completely give that word, right? I have just given ultra. I did not given even ultra space tech. So sometimes spelling there in the narration, actually it is ULTRA. Now let me say ULTRAA. This is how I'm searching. Still, it is doing a search and giving it to me. Though I am not using exactly ULTRA, I am typing it as ULTRAA. Still, it is showing me the result because it is doing a similar match, not exact match. It is doing a similar match. So the word which is similar to ultra is also similar. So hence it is doing. So we can customize. Sir, where we can customize? So what are all the companies that were loaded? You can see on the left side, there are 3 loaded companies. So find functionality works on all the loaded companies. So, but company actually which is open is Semonite, but it is now the find functionality is working on all loaded companies. Sir, how can I customize these options? Okay, simply here, I don't have any separate settings for find button, right, friends? Because on the help button, F1 help, you can see here under the settings, there were settings for find button. Okay, this is a settings for find button where under help, go to settings and go to find option. So here you can customize saying that, do you want to find anything within the current company or all loaded companies? So I have selected all loaded companies. No, sir, I want to change it. You can say it as current company. No, sir, I want all loaded companies. You can say it as all loaded companies. So then find functionality will work on all loaded companies. Sir, I will open 100 companies and I want that find option to work on all 100 companies. It will work. It will work. Next one, show from all results, masters, transactions. Basically, the find functionality will work on all masters transactions. But if you want the find option to work only on masters, you can specify masters, or on transactions, you can specify transactions. But the best option will always be all results. Show results when any word is present, when all words are present. Okay, so any word is present in the sense like in the total sentence, even if one word matches, it's going to bring you the result. But if you want, if all words to match, then only result to get displayed, you can change it to all words present. And include similar spellings. I have put it as yes. That is the reason why even when I typed ultra, ULTRAA, it is able to give me the result. But if I want that exact match, exact spellings, then I need to click on no, include contains match and maintain history. So that means when you open Alt F, you are able to see the old histories, right? If you do not want that to be displayed on the screen, the past searches, simply what you can do, maintain history. You can click it as no. If you click it as no, and under Alt F, if you are using something, okay, you will not be. Again, if I go Alt F, you will not be able to see what I searched because I put the option as off. So settings for find button under maintain history. If I put yes, you will be able to see the browsing history or search history. And if I say no, you will not be able to see the search history. So where is the settings button for this find option? The settings button for the find option is F1 help, go to settings, under settings, find settings. This is the options where you can use it. Okay. Yeah, just give me a second. Yeah. So from Tally, I'm getting one call probably. So that is all about the find option. So there are multiple options. There are multiple things that you can ways in which you can check. So as I said, you will be able to customize the find settings from the settings button, and you can explore it. And we'll move on to the. If there are any questions on this particular area, so probably you can just post it in the chat window. I'll answer the questions on the find button. So you just start exploring it. you will definitely enjoy, and you will, even if there are any doubts as well. So basically, I'll just show you one wonderful option where we need not ask anyone directly. We can ask Tally 100%. So if you see here, what is the page that I'm into? I'm into the page called help.tallysolutions.com. So this is the help page of Tally. So on the right side, you can see a new option called Tara. So TARA Tara. So it's a chatbot of Tally company. So if you have any questions on any doubt, anything you want to check whether something really, how we will step by step, it will help us the process. So you give any questions to Tara. So Tara is going to answer to you with regard to Tally. So what is that page is where we need to open this chat box. So go to help.tallysolutions.com. So there is a chat box, Tara. So click your question, post your question, and just say search. It is going to give you a detailed step by step on how you need to enable something. Yeah. So you can later on start testing that. Okay. But I just help.tallysolutions.com to repeat. Coming to the next one, friends. Coming to the next one after find option. Banking payments. So basically now till 6.2, we will be able to only view the bank balance, and we'll be able to only download the bank statement directly into the Tally, directly into the ERP, without logging into the net banking, provided that you have your banking with the SBI, Axis, Kotak Mahindra, and of those sort companies, of those sort banks. And now from 7.0, not only that you will be able to really see the bank balance option and also download the bank statement, but we will also be able to make the payment directly from the Tally software. So that option is a wonderful option that was being brought. So the partnering banks for this prime banking payments are Kotak, Axis, and SBI. And Kotak, it will take another 1 week for e-payments option to work. It's in a process. But for Axis Bank and SBI, it is live, it is tested. And the customers who are having this SBI and Axis Bank, they are able to directly make the payments from the Tally software without adding any beneficiary, but OTP authentication will always be there from the owner of the account. So I'll also make a product walkthrough. So the way in which first we need to, the first step, if we want to use this feature is you need to first configure the bank ledger. I'll just demonstrate how to configure a bank ledger if we want to enable e-payments. So I'm going into the alter, the ledger, the bank ledger. The Axis Bank is the bank with which this company, the National Enterprises, is banking with. I need to click on alter bank configuration. There is an option by name called enable e-payments where I need to select it as yes. So that is the first step that I need to do if I want to make e-payments. Okay, so just set or alter e-payments configuration. You can say yes. And there only one option. I auto generate payment advice for connected banking. That means once you make the payment advice also goes to the vendor. So that means so and so person had made the payment to you, and this is the reference number against this is the invoice number against which the payment was made, and a copy. You can mark your email ID also. So that means you will have a doubt whether email ID has gone to the vendor or not. So if you put your mail ID in CC, one director 2 will go to the vendor and the CC copy will come to you. So I put our email ID itself in the CC. So we will also get a copy of the payment advice whenever mail goes to the vendor. The moment you make the payment advice will automatically go to the vendor. So this is the first setting that you need to do, which is configuring the bank account. So what did I do? I went to the bank ledger and I enabled the e-payment option. And also I have enabled the payment advice to go to the vendor once the payment is been done. And also I have given my email ID wherein I will also get a payment advice once the payment is been happened. So this is the first step that we need to do. So we'll move on to the next step. Enabling online payments. The next, let's see the steps, how to enable the online payments. I'm going into the option called exchange, all banking options. First, we need to log in into the connected banking. So I need to give my tally.net ID as well as tally.net password. You can see these are the 3 banks to which I have my connections in 6.0, but you can see online payments are not enabled. The reason being online payments were enabled only from 7.0 version. How to enable online payments? Earlier, we used to see only bank balance and download bank statement, but now I clicked on manage online payments. It had an OTP had gone to the owner of the bank account. So I need to take that OTP. I did OTP authentication. The moment I did OTP authentication, you can see the status, which earlier was not enabled. Now it was changed to enabled. So now for this company, e-payments were enabled. So the only 2 things that I did, correct friends? One is in bank ledger, I have enabled e-payments. And secondly, I have gone into the exchange and under connected banking, I have also added that bank account and also I have enabled e-payments. So these are the 2 steps that I did. Now, settle outstandings and initiate bank payment. Now the real thing comes where now I do want to make a payment to a vendor. I want to settle a bill of a vendor. Let's see how to make a payment to the vendor directly from Tally. Now I need to make a payment to the vendor. So let me go into ledger outstandings. Let me select the party to which I need to make the payment. Amit Traders is a person to whom I need to make the payment, and the total value of purchases that I did in this month is 95,000. And I want to make the payment for all the 3 bills amounting to 95,000. So I'm clicking an option called settle bills. So voucher date is 1st November 2025. What is the bank account through which I want to make the payment? Axis Bank. I can put the narration clearing the complete outstanding of October 2025 payment. Yes, payment voucher. For the payment is against how many bills? I have given the reference numbers also. You can see the payment pertains to. And this is going in the form of NEFT. And the account number, because once we create the vendor account, we need to also give the account details of the vendor. So that is a place from where it had come, the bank details. I have now made the payment voucher. I did not make the payment, but I just generated the payment voucher. Now I need to make the payment. For making the payment, go to the exchange option. There is an option called send payments and Axis Bank. And I'm double clicking the Axis Bank. So now you can see whatever the payment voucher that we had generated now, which is for 95,000 is sitting in the queue. Now I need to push it to the payment thing. So I'm just putting it as configure. I need to see whether the balance is available in my account or not because I'm making 95,000. What is my available bank balance? I'm just putting it as configure and my current available balance is 8,64,439, which means that the amount which is here is sufficient to make the payment to the vendor. Correct? So live balance as at 410. So the demonstration time is 9,98,000 and the payment that I need to make is 95,000. For sure, the payment will not be failed because I have sufficient balance in the account. Now let me click on button called send. OTP will come to the owner of the account. So I need to call to Amit Kumar. If I'm Amit Kumar, I will enter. If I'm just an accountant and Amit Kumar is the owner, I'll call to Amit Kumar and take an OTP for this transaction and I will enter the OTP. It says that the payment is sent to the bank and the status got turned as submitted. So now I need to inquire whether the payment was successful or not. Correct? So now I'll just show you how we need to check whether the payment is successful or not. Bank payment status. So where to check the bank payment status? So option go to. So let me open e-payments. Under go to e-payments and let me click on that Axis Bank. You can see there are certain transactions in progress and our value of the transaction that we did was I'm just trying to refresh. Count of transactions 4 and it was authorized. Yeah. So this is a place where you can see the status of different transactions. So certain transaction status is not yet processed. It is just authorized. So it will take some time for processing. And you can see also some other transactions where those transaction status was showing it as processed. So this is exactly the place where you can see what is the status of the payments, whether they are being completed, they are being processed, or where they are being there. So this is how e-payments. So under go to, you need to log into e-payments option and you need to see the status of each and every payment that you had initiated, friends. Now let me move on to the next one, payment advice. So now if you can recall, when I'm configuring the bank ledger, I also had selected an option. So generate payment advice whenever a payment is being made. So we should have a proof whether a payment advice had gone to the supplier or not. So in CC, we have given our email ID as well, correct? So let's see whether how payment advice will go. So friends, this is how payment advice will go. On to the right side, you can see a mail will come to the vendor saying greetings. This email is to notify that you have the following payment transaction has been initiated by our client National Enterprises, and the date, the UTR number, the amount for which we made the payment initiation, the payment mode, and also the bills against which we made the payment. So the bill number, bill date, everything will also get displayed. So a proper payment advice will get to. So a mail will come to you because you have marked your mail in CC, also to the vendor the moment payment is done. So right, friends, so this is all about what the payments, connected payments directly from Tally. So we'll be able to see what the bank balance, we'll be able to download the bank statement directly into the Tally, and also you will be able to make the payments into the directly from Tally. Sir, I don't have a so let me also answer one another important question which many users has. Sir, I don't have an account with Axis or Kotak or SBI, but I have an account with HDFC or ICICI or some other bank like maybe Canara Bank or Bank of India. In that situation, should I is there any way in which I can make importing of bank statements so easily into Tally? 100% yes. So, but please do understand that you need to download from the internet banking of the particular customer, the Excel bank statement, the bank statement in Excel format. That's all. So once you have your bank statement in Excel format, you can import that Excel statement into the Tally software, and you can simply keep assigning the ledgers for each and every transaction onto the other side so that transactions gets posted so quickly. Yeah, so that is one option. So for the users who are not having an association with Kotak, Axis or SBI, they just simply need to download their bank statement and import into Tally. So that one step would be extra. One step would be extra. But for these users, they don't even need to download the bank statement from the net banking. Directly being in the Tally, they can import the bank statement as well for passing the entries. So this is all about the connected payments, and we were left with one more topic, which is Bharat Connect. I'll try to explain that option of Bharat Connect as well. So this is all about Bharat Connect. This video will just explain us a bit of Bharat Connect, what exactly Bharat Connect is. It gives us a sense. So this explains how Bharat Connect works. This video will help us understand how Bharat Connect works. So I have created certain invoices, which I do want to share it to my customer. So this is my customer's software or my customer's Tally. Whatever the invoices that I had shared it to the email, through Bharat Connect to my customer ERP, they were appearing as inward invoices. He had opened it and he's just trying to accept it and had created a purchase voucher also. Now he's making a payment also. And for me, it is going to get recorded as a receipt voucher. Yeah. Now let me practically demonstrate that to you. So these are all the steps, friends. This slide will tell you the steps for using Bharat Connect. So one is there has to be a registration for Bharat Connect. Who can get enrolled in Bharat Connect? So the criteria is that you should have a GST number. So anyone who is having a GST number can apply for Bharat Connect ID. It's very simple. Once you get a Bharat Connect ID, just like how we make the payments through mobile number, for sharing the invoices through Bharat Connect, you should have a Bharat Connect ID. For Bharat Connect ID, to get a Bharat Connect ID, you just need to have a GSTN number, and OTP goes to the owner of the GST number, authorized signatory of the GSTN. Once he gives the OTP, a Bharat Connect ID gets generated. And going forward, once we are making a ledger of a vendor, what we need to do of a customer or a vendor, in addition to giving us an email ID, not only taking the email ID, not only taking the mobile number, we should also take the vendor or customer's Bharat Connect ID, and we need to enter it in creation of ledger screen. So that's the first step, friends. And once it is done, I need to generate an invoice. Once I'm saying the invoice, it will ask me whether do you want to share this invoice through Bharat Connect. Once I say yes, it will go and sit in the Bharat Connect of the buyer, my customer. So my customer will open his ERP and will see the invoice on his screen. He will go through whether everything is correct or not. And once he feels it is correct, he will simply create a purchase voucher from the sale voucher which I had shared. So he need not again create items. He need not create ledgers. Everything is automatic. And he can simply create a purchase voucher from the sale invoice which I had sent. And once he makes the payment, that comes into my bucket where I can create a receipt voucher from the payment voucher which he had sent it to me through Bharat Connect. Yeah. So let me show you practically the way that Bharat Connect works. Let me take two examples of the entities. So one is Semonite. So let us say Semonite is creating a sale invoice. So Semonite is creating a sale invoice or VLS Corporate Services voucher. Yes. Voucher. I'm creating a sales voucher, friends. So let us say anything we can select, sales, party account name. So Venkatramana Oil Traders, Venkatramana Oil Traders. The reason why I have selected this company is that I know the Bharat Connect ID of the Venkatramana Oil Traders. So if you in the screen, you can see one more option got added in the ledger screen of Venkatramana Oil Traders, B2B ID, right? B2B ID. So if I do not know that, I know GST number, but I did not know Bharat Connect ID. If he had created Bharat Connect ID, he need not tell us. Automatically, we'll be able to fetch. So here there is an option called search Bharat B2B ID. I'm clicking on search. I'm searching it. So you can see the Bharat Connect ID of Venkatramana Oil Traders is VROT. VROT. So nothing but their complete name, Venkatramana Oil Traders, VROT. They put it as shortcut. That is how they created Bharat Connect ID. So that means if the customer had created Bharat Connect ID, enrolled to Bharat Connect and created a Bharat Connect ID, he need not tell us what his Bharat Connect ID is. We'll be able to fetch directly. We'll be able to search directly. So I searched it and I'm showing it to you on the screen. So Bharat Connect ID of Venkatramana Oil Traders is VROT, which I entered on the ledger screen. Control A, Control A, Control A, Control A, right? Okay, done. So now I'm making a sale invoice to Venkatramana Oil Traders. So let us assume that it's a professional charges invoice for DR3 KYC or whatever. And so change mode. So maybe accounting invoice or whatever. Particulars. Professional charges for DR3 KYC. Okay, let us assume 1000 rupees is the fees. Control A. And if you want to charge GST, you can charge GST. So they are at the other state. So IGST is applicable. So I put IGST. So 1180 is the invoice. So being KYC charges billed. So the moment I'm saving it, let us say it is asking me a question. Do you want to share this invoice with Venkatramana Oil Traders via Bharat Connect? Correct. So I need to say yes. That's all. So that means this invoice had got shared via Bharat Connect to the Venkatramana Oil Traders. Correct, friends? Yes. So let us see whether that was shared or not. Now I am opening books of Venkatramana Oil Traders in front of you. This is books of Venkatramana Oil Traders. Who billed it? VLS Corporate Services billed it. To whom it was billed? Venkatramana Oil Traders, it was billed. Now I need to go into on the gateway of Tally. You can see a new option got added, which is Bharat Connect screen. So I clicked on Bharat Connect screen on gateway of Tally, Bharat Connect. I clicked on Bharat Connect. I need to see these are all outward invoices. On the top, outward invoices. On the second option is inward invoices. For VLS Corporate Services, it is an outward invoice. But for Venkatramana Oil Traders, it is an inward invoice. So inward invoice you need to see. For those invoices for each is a buyer. Venkatramana is a buyer. Yes, I'm opening it. So let me put the date, friends. Let me put the date. So you can see new invoice received. Can you see it? New invoice received. I'm opening it. So I'm opening it. So on the screen, you can see the invoice which was sent by VLS Corporate Services for 1000 plus GST 180 is appearing in the tally of Venkatramana Oil Traders. Date, invoice date, everything is happened. Everything he's able to see. Correct. So now he need to, let us say, create purchase voucher. Based on this, you can see a purchase voucher got created. What did I do? Simply, whatever the invoice that you can see on the screen, I just made an entry by name called create purchase voucher onto the right. Create purchase voucher. That's all. I will save Control A, Control A. So do you want to send invoice acceptance to VLS Corporate Services via Bharat Connect? So they will be notified that whatever the invoice that was sent by you, it was got accepted by Venkatramana Oil Traders. Let me press yes. So communication happened. Invoice acceptance had been shared via Bharat Connect, and also my purchase voucher also got entered. Let me check whether my purchase voucher got entered or not. Display accounts ledger, VLS Corporate Services. You can see 1180 rupees. My purchase voucher also got entered. Okay. So coming to the next one. Let me go back to VLS Corporate Services. Let me go back to VLS Corporate Services. I went to VLS Corporate Services. Again, let me go into Bharat Connect screen. Here I need to, I'm a seller, right? For which I'm a seller. So I need to go on to the first option. So let me change the dates. You can see payment pending from buyer because already the Venkatramana Oil Traders has accepted. So that transaction now in what status? Payment pending from buyer. Payment pending from buyer. So can we see that communication? So Venkatramana Oil Traders also had accepted that. If you could recall, I only had shown that we accepted and sent this communication. This got updated in the tally. So now what we need to do? Venkatramana Oil Traders need to make the payment. Correct, friends? Okay. Venkatramana Oil Traders now need to make the payment. So invoice is pending for payment. The next step is payment. So create payment voucher. Create payment voucher. So through which bank let's make the payment? Through HDFC Bank, let's make the payment. Completed. So do you want to send the payment details to VLS Corporate Services via Bharat Connect? Yes. Payment voucher is also getting transmitted to the VLS Corporate Services. So this is VLS Corporate Services. Again, I am going into Bharat Connect option. And again, let me see the option as seller invoices. Let me pick the date. Payment acknowledgement pending. So that means I need to acknowledge that I have received the payment, correct? So I'll just search my bank statement and see whether the credit had happened or not. And then once the credit had happened, I'll create receipt voucher. Automatically receipt voucher got created, friends. Let us say I am having that amount got created to me in my bank account, which is HDFC. I select my HDFC. and just Control A. So do you want to send the payment acknowledgement to Venkatramana Oil Traders via Bharat Connect? Now, the moment I say yes, Venkatramana Oil Traders will get notified saying that VLS had received the payment sent by Venkatramana Oil Traders. Okay. So communication is happening between two softwares. That's all. So now the transaction got closed. The transaction got closed. So initially we made a sale invoice and they recorded it as a purchase invoice. And later on they made a payment voucher which had come to us, through which we created a receipt voucher. So did we avoid the duplication of effort? Yes. So since now everyone is referring to the same invoice and there is no manual intervention, no one is keying in the numbers manually, the chances of errors would be wrong. No more. The date will be captured correctly, items will be captured correctly, basic value, CGST, SGST, everything gets captured correctly. Then where is the question of mistakes? So going forward, there can't be question of mistakes, provided the exchange of invoices happens between the ERPs through Bharat Connect option, and also our effort will also get reduced. Now our effort is only for what? Generation of sales invoices, friends. Only for generation of sales invoices. For purchase invoices, our purchase is sale of some other person. When he sends me that sale invoice, it will appear to me in my inward screen. Simply I will open it and see whether it is correct or not, and I'll create a purchase voucher. So the effort of accountant will only be for generating sale invoices, but not for entering purchase invoices, provided your all suppliers are also using Bharat Connect. If they are sharing the invoices instead of mail attachment, instead of through WhatsApp, if they can simply send their sales invoices through Bharat Connect, your efforts in entering purchase data will be reduced. So it's all about awareness. We need to educate our customers. We need to educate our vendors that there is something called Bharat Connect. And if you can share the invoices through instead of sharing the invoices through an email, so why can't you also use this option of Bharat Connect, whereby my effort gets reduced and the chances of errors between you and me also gets reduced. So communication will also be perfect between two ERPs. So now ERPs are talking one to another. Sir, let us say my client is in other software and I am using Tally. Will exchange of invoices happens? So ERPs, the backend is the Bharat Connect platform, which is developed by Government of India. So Tally had adopted that technology of Bharat Connect. And if other software vendor is also has Bharat Connect, even though that is not Tally, exchange of invoices will happen for sure. Okay. So that is something that I could say. Only compatibility is something that we need to think. If your software company also has Bharat Connect integration, you will be able to share invoice to me and I'll be able to share invoice to you, and the systems speak, provided the backend technology is Bharat Connect. Right, friends? So this is something that I thought to practically demonstrate on how exchange of invoices will happen through Bharat Connect. And sir, in both companies, if item name is not the same, will it get duplicated? Yeah. So the answer is, firstly, there might be small difference in terms of capital letter or small letter, or their item name may be Intel i7. I might say, in another words, Intel --i7 in my system. So the dot will also be a difference, where there will be a red flag. When you see it, it shows that that particular item that was being shared by your vendor is not appearing or is not already existing in your Tally as an item. So then manually you can go there and you can change. Simply you can change the item to Intel i7 ... which is there as an item in your system. Okay, sir, every time should I change, sir? This situation will be there every time. Okay, no, don't worry. It will not be every time. Only once you do it, the AI technology of Tally will read what you are doing. So when your supplier is sending, when XYZ supplier is sending with an item Intel i7, but in your company, you are mapping it to Intel i7 ... Next time when that invoice comes through Bharat Connect, automatically it will take Intel i7 ... next time, because it is reading what you did in the earlier transaction. It is observing how you are mapping, and the next transaction will happen automatically. Okay. So only for once or twice we need to put an effort of manual mapping, because item name may be different between the vendor to us. In that case, obviously, we need to map it manually once or twice. And once you do it, next time invoice comes from that vendor, it knows what to map. It will map. So that is using of AI. So Tally is also using its AI. Okay, bulk payments option. There is no bulk payments option. You need to make single payment. So you need to make single payment. And one user had asked a question. There are multiple invoices. Can we make multiple invoice payments to multiple vendors at the same time? 100% yes, because once you made the payment voucher, everything will go and sit in a queue. Correct? Everything will go and sit in a queue. You need to select all those vouchers which are in the queue and say send payments. So at single shot, the payments will go to different vendors. But please do understand that OTPs you have to take. So for each transaction, there will be different OTP. Because there is no bulk upload. There is no bulk upload, friends. So there is no auto debit option for regular monthly payments. There is no auto debit option. So by mistake, if you have made a payment, what to do? So just like if you have made a wrong payment through NEFT or RTGS, whatever the way that you need to, the same recourse that you need to Tally. If you are making the payment through Tally software, it doesn't make any difference, because at the back end, the payment is happening through RTGS or NEFT of your net banking. Only front end interface, you are seeing it as a Tally, but back end interface is at the end of the day, your net banking, internet banking. So there won't be any difference if you have made any mistake in making the payment. Again, you need to follow the regular process, whatever that you do. If you are making the payment through net banking, there won't be any difference. And let me see if there are any further questions on this area. Can we make an advance payment to vendors? Yes, 100% you can make an advance payments to vendors. So is there any option to do bulk payments at one time? No, there is no option to do bulk payments at once. For this, you need to use that old methodology of e-payments. Through connected banking, there is no bulk payments, but you might know that we have an option of bulk payments where an Excel file gets generated for all the vendors, and that Excel file you need to export it in the net banking portal, and then bulk payment occurs. That option, but through connected banking, currently there is no bulk payment option. What about other banks? So as of now, these are the three banks with which Tally had its support. Going forward, Tally will also have its support from other banks as well. In the next versions, or even in some few days, we might hear some more banks getting added to the list apart from these three banks. So Tally is in regular dialogue with other banks also as well. So can we have a recording of this meeting? So probably I think the presenters, Asha can answer this question.
Yes, sir. Once we get approval from your end, we will put a recording session of this in the YouTube channel.
Yeah, sure. So that should not be a problem.
And we'll share it in the group. Okay.
Yeah. So HCAS will host this video in the YouTube channel. So anyone who want to again go through it, definitely they can watch the YouTube channel of HCAS and get your queries resolved. But anyhow, you're all added to the WhatsApp group of HCAS there. Na? So if you have any further questions as well, so please feel free to ask there as well. I'm there in that group. I'll definitely try to help you as much as I can. So only that is the success of Bharat Connect is a feature which is going to be a revolutionary one. Only thing is that we need to educate. We need to make that awareness. First, we need to adopt it. And then once we adopt it, we need to make vendors and the customers adopt it. We need to educate them. So that is possible only once we start using it, correct? So always change has to come from us first, and then we need to inculcate the change to others. And once the community gets empowered with the changes, our work gets reduced, errors gets reduced, the time gets saved. So the entire success of Bharat Connect again is in the hands of the community, the people. So please do start using Bharat Connect and also help your customers, vendors also enable Bharat Connect and start using, so that it will be helpful. And for using Bharat Connect, you need not be in 7.0. Even if you are in 6.0 plus also, I think Bharat Connect is something that you can enable. If you find any difficulty in enabling Bharat Connect, so please feel free to drop a message in that group. I'll talk to you and I'll enable Bharat Connect, provided you are in 6.0 plus. But for Tally Drive or connected payments and that find option and all those features, so that's clearly available only from Tally Prime 7.0. So if you have any further questions, so I'll try to resolve it. If not, we can conclude the session. And still later also, if you have any questions, definitely you're always free to raise your questions in that WhatsApp group. Topics also, if you would want us to take up in the next sessions, definitely. So feel free to drop those areas in that WhatsApp group. And for sure, we'll come back with another session, because time is very important for everyone. So there might be certain people who would have blocked their time and they had ensured that they had allocated their time for the session. Thank you so much for that. And I'll not enter into any other area other than the selected topic. But if you feel certain other areas also to be empowered, so please feel free to drop those areas in the WhatsApp group. We'll try to come up with one more presentation very soon with as a collaboration with HCAS.
Q&A is also done. So thank you, sir, for the valuable insights of Tally Prime 7.0. We hope everybody found it very useful. And in case you have any suggestions, you can post it in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, so there is one hand raised. So can we unmute? I think Santosh
Yes,
sir
sir.
is also on the line. So firstly,
Yeah, I am.
Ellen Govan and Co. So can we unmute them?
Yeah, I am.
Am I audible? I'm Santosh
Yeah.
from Tally
Hi.
Solutions.
Yeah. Hi, Santosh sir. Good
Yeah,
evening, sir.
and on this occasion, I just wanted to thank the community members that taken the effort to conduct the event. And a lot of efforts are being put by the Tally to reach the every GSTP accountant and chartered accountant community to upscale their, capabilities to improve their productivity and performance over the product and product domain. Yes, as rightly said by Badarinath sir, there is a lot of potential to unlock with each and every individual person who touches the Tally. On this point, I just wanted to uh, give you very good news that there are more capabilities are coming into the Tally that will help definitely of people who are struggling to improve their productivity in the product domain knowledge. And we'll be doing this regularly, not only a monthly. It is not kind of a release based enablement. We also ready to do the enablements weekly on weekly basis as well. I really thank the community members who actually organized this event, and Badarinath Garu behalf of you. And Tally Solutions is always ready to extend the support in any form of the way to use the productivity. And thank you for conducting this event. Yeah.
So thank you, Santosh Garu, for taking your valuable time and addressing all of us. So even Santosh Garu is also in that WhatsApp group. So whenever we do want any particular session to be taken up on any specific topics, so please feel free to post those topics, which really helps our community. So for sure, they'll be hosting some more sessions in the future as well. Thank you one and all.